If you're looking for a great record player, then you've probably noticed the Fluence RT81 or the RT85. Well, today we're going to compare both of them head to head and see which one is the better value for you. So the links to both of these will be in the video description down below, and if you happen to like this video, then be sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Alright, so let's dive in. First up, let's talk about price. As of the making of this video, the RT81 is going for $250 and the RT85 is going for $500. So being that it's half the price of the 85, we're going to give this point to the 81. Now moving on to speeds, both of these turntables spin at 33 and 45 RPM, but not 78 RPM. So both of them can play the 7-inch singles and the 12-inch albums, like the ones you see on the wall behind me, but not those older 10-inch shellac records, the 78s. So as I mentioned before in past videos, this isn't really a big deal because most people don't collect those kind of records anyway, but if you do happen to collect them, then this is definitely something to keep in mind. But overall, if you just want to play modern records, then both turntables are going to work great for you. So since they both play the exact same speeds, we're going to give them both 1 point. Now moving on to their motors, both of these turntables are belt driven, meaning that their motor is off to one side and it spins the platter using a rubber belt. So since they're both the exact same in this respect, I'm going to give them both 1 point. Now moving on to build quality, although both turntables have plinths made from solid wood, the RT81 weighs only 14 pounds and the 85 weighs 17 pounds. Now this 3-pound difference in weight is because the 85 comes with an acrylic platter and the 81 does not. But we'll get back to that in a second. Now, the 85 also comes with 3 adjustable isolation feet, which allow you to perfectly balance the turntable. And that, yet again, is a feature the RT81 does not have. So because of its heavier weight, which makes it more stable, and its isolation feet, which make it perfectly level, we're going to give this point to the 85. Now, as I just mentioned, when it comes to their platters, this is where the 85 also has the advantage. It comes stock with an acrylic platter, and that stands in contrast to the aluminum platter of the RT81. So why is acrylic better? Well, as Fluence describes it, quote, "The high density and greater mass of the acrylic provide a consistent speed while also dampening unwanted vibrations," unquote. So basically, the speeds are more accurate and the sound quality is just better. Also, as I've said in other videos, another added benefit of having an acrylic platter is that you don't even need a turntable mat at all. All you have to do is just put your record down directly on top of the platter, drop the needle, and you're good to go. So that's a little more convenient. So overall, because its platter is just simply better, we're going to give this point to the RT85. Now moving on to various colors you can get these turntables in, they both have a few options to choose from. The 81 comes in 2 colors, piano black and walnut, and the 85 comes in 3 colors, piano black, walnut, and the newest color, bamboo, which I think looks pretty cool. So since it gives you that one extra option to choose from, we're going to give this point to the 85. Now moving on, let's talk cartridges. So if you're new to record collecting, the cartridge is the little box on the end of the tone arm which contains the stylus or record needle and converts the grooves of your records into music. So it's going to have the biggest impact on your turntable's sound quality. Now the 81 comes with an Audio-Technica ATN95E cartridge, and the 85 comes with a higher quality Ortophon 2M Blue cartridge. So as far as sound goes, although the Audio-Technica is a decent cartridge, it's the 2M Blue that really shines, especially if you pair it with some quality speakers, like Klipsch, for example. So essentially, because the Ortophon is a higher quality cartridge featuring a nude elliptical stylus, we're going to give this point to the 85. Now moving on to the preamp, some turntables have it built in and others do not. If your turntable already has a preamp, then you won't need to buy it separately, and that's going to save you some money. So when it comes to these turntables in particular, the RT81 does have a built-in preamp, but the RT85 does not. Now, you can choose to add a separate external preamp, the Fluence PA10, to the 85, but that is going to cost you an additional $100. So, since it already comes with a preamp, we're going to give this point to the 81. Now, when it comes to the operation of a turntable, there are two main categories: manual and automatic. Manual means that you have to raise and lower the needle yourself. Most modern turntables fall into this category. And an automatic means that the turntable will raise and lower the needle itself. So those are going to be a little more convenient. Now, when it comes to these turntables, both of them are manual, but they also have an auto stop function, which means that once the needle reaches the end of the record, it stops spinning the platter. And that prevents you from accidentally damaging your stylus if you happen to fall asleep one night and it just keeps spinning endlessly. That would be a very bad situation. So this is definitely a good feature to have in a turntable. And since they're both manual and they both have that feature, we're going to give them both 1 point. Now, next up we have the counterweight. As its name implies, this is a little weight at the back of the tone arm which prevents the needle from pressing down too hard on the record grooves. This downward pressure is called tracking force. So the good news here is that neither turntable has an excessive tracking force which could potentially damage your records. So that's definitely a good thing, and both of them do in fact have this adjustable counterweight on the back of their tone arms. So because they're both the same in this respect, we're going to give them both 1 point. Now, moving on to USB functionality, neither of these turntables have a USB connection. So if you're looking to transfer your records to your computer, then neither of these turntables is going to be the right choice for you. However, if on the other hand, you just want to play your records, then both turntables are going to be great for you. So it really just depends on what you want to do. But regardless, since neither turntable has a USB connection, I'm going to give them both 0 points. Now, when buying your first record player, another important thing you should consider is how easy is it going to be to set up? Well, usually the most difficult part of the setup process is aligning the cartridge. If you don't do it right, then the needle is not going to sit in the groove properly, and then that's going to cause sound problems and potentially even scratch records, which is no fun. Now, the great news here is that both of these turntables already have their cartridges pre-aligned right out of the box. So since that's going to save you some time and frustration, we're going to give them both 1 point. Now, moving on to accessories, the 81 comes with a rubber mat, and both turntables come with a power cord, a 45 RPM adapter, a rubber belt for the motor, the RCA cables, and last of all, of course, a dust cover. So since they basically have all the same stuff, we're going to give them both 1 point. And finally, last of all, both of them are not Crosley Cruisers, so they both get a point. Alright, so our final tally is the RT81 with 9 points and the RT85 with 11 points. So obviously the 85 is the clear winner here, but also keep in mind that you are going to pay double the price for that turntable. Is it worth it? I personally think it is, because I really love my RT85 back here, but honestly, this is something that you're going to have to decide for yourself. And make no mistake, the 81 is still a fantastic turntable for the price, and it's also very comparable to the Audio-Technica LP120X. So overall, they are both great turntables, and I just know that no matter which one you go with, you're going to absolutely love it, and you're going to spin a lot of great music on it. Now, which one were you more interested in? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you love record collecting as much as I do, then feel free to subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you won't miss out on any future videos. And most importantly of all, friends, have a fantastic day, stay safe, and keep spinning that vinyl.